Hi, God Lily here, and I'm back. November 21st, 2011. And it's about 9 in the morning. And we're having our little Bible session, a lesson. And the music that you're hearing is Merv Kim and Blues Boy Lonnie from Cleveland, Ohio. And if you ever want to see what Blues Boy Lonnie looks like, go to YouTube. Put in Blues Cartel, C-A-R-T-E-L, and Vernon. And you'll see Blues Boy Lonnie in Cleveland. That's my son. And Merv Kim, my ex-husband. We're back. And we're in John 10. And we just got to read John 10:34, where Jesus said, "Is it not written in your law that I said ye are gods?" So that's why I said that we are gods. Because of that. And we're going to go on because in the 11th it tells you about Lazarus, and I know everybody knows the story about when Jesus raised Lazarus from the dead. And Martha and Mary was his brother, was their sisters, was Lazarus' sisters. And they met Jesus and they was crying. That's in the 11th chapter. But we're going to skip over a lot of that. We'll come back later. And when they were saying Jesus, okay, they met him and they were saying, the disciples said unto him, Master, the Jews of late sought to stone thee, and goest thou there again? Okay, because when Martha and Mary sent for Jesus, he had already ran because they were going to stone him there. And so the disciples didn't want him to go back, but he went anyway because their brother had died. And Jesus asked, Are there not 12 hours in a day? If any man walk in the day, he stumble not, because he seeth the light of this world. But if a man walk in night, he stumble, because there is no light in him. These things said he. And after that he said unto them, Our friend Lazarus sleepeth, but I go, that I might awake him out of his sleep. Then the disciples said, Lord, if he sleep, he shall do well. Howbeit Jesus spake of his death, but they thought that he had spoken of taking a rest in sleep. Then said Jesus unto them, Lazarus is dead, and I am glad for your sake that I was not there, to the intent ye may believe. Nevertheless, let us go unto him. So when he was saying, he glad he wasn't there, because he wanted him to die so they could see the miracles that God can do. We're going to skip on over that. And when Mary came met him, we're going to go over to the 23rd of 11th chapter of St. John. Jesus said unto her, Thy brother shall rise again. So he told her that the brother will rise again. And then we're going to go all the way to the 34th verse of the 11th chapter of John, because it's the most famous, one of the most famous verses in the Bible. And 34 said, and said, Where have ye laid him? That's what Jesus said. He said, Where have you laid him? And they said unto the Lord, Come and see. Well, because everybody was so upset and their heart was so heavy, that's when Jesus wept. And it says Jesus wept. He cried. 11:35. Jesus wept. John 11:35. And why did he weep? He wept because of their hurt and pain. Not because he was hurting and pain. He was feeling theirs. And then said the Jews, Behold, how he loved them. That's what he's saying. They saying, because Jesus cried, he said, oh, he must love them. And some of them said, Could not this man which opened the eyes of the blind have caused this man that he should not have died? So Jesus, therefore, again, groaning in himself, coming to the grave. You ever went to a funeral and you cry for somebody else? That's why I don't like to go to funerals. I can feel other people's pain. Even though you know that these people in a better place, they're gone. You're supposed to rejoice when they leave, cry when they come in, because they're going back to the Father. It's when you come to the earth you should be crying, because this is your training place. This is your testing place. This is a place you got to get back to God. You got to become a God, do all this crap, and get back to your Father and become a God before you get back to heaven. You're going to keep doing this cycle until you become a God. So that's why you should weep when they come in to the world. Rejoice when they leave, but we do the opposite. Okay, so now we're back to the 37th chapter, 7th verse. And some of them said, Could not this man which opened the eyes of the blind cause this man should have died, not have died. And Jesus, therefore, again, groaning in himself, coming to the grave, it was a cave, and a stone laid before it. And Jesus said, take away the stone. And Martha and the sister of him said, that was dead, said unto the Lord, by this time he stinketh, for he has been dead for 4 days. You start stinking after 3 days. So Jesus said unto her, said I not unto thee that if thou wouldst believest, thou shouldst see the glory of God. If you just believe, if you have the faith of his mustard seed cut in 4 parts, you can move a mountain. And then they took away the stone from the place where the dead lay. And Jesus lifted up his eyes and said, Father, I thank thee that thou hast heard me. In other words, he knew that God heard him, just his thoughts. He didn't even have to speak. You don't have to speak. The universe hears your thoughts. God hears your thoughts. And I knew. Oh, he's talking in past tense. Wait a minute, let me read this right. Father, I thank thee that thou hast heard me. Heard me already. Just what I was thinking. And knew that thou hears me always. He know that God hear him always. You should know that. But because of the people that stand around by, I said it, that thou may believe that thou hast sent me. He's only saying these things because of the people standing around. You really don't have to speak. You only have to speak because of people around you. You only have to think. And when he thus had spoken, he cried with a loud voice, Lazarus, come forth. And that was for the people. It wasn't for God, because God already heard him. He knew he was going to come anyway. Loose him and let him go. That's 44. So this is the point is, well, Jesus was trying to make this point that you don't have to speak. All you have to do is think. You speak for what's around you, the people around you. That was a beautiful lesson, and I think that we better. I'll be back. Let that soak in. That was John 10:25 to 34, and 11 chapter 40 all the way to the 43rd verse, or 44th verse.